Let's take you back now to the other big international story, and that is the killing of those 3 members of President Bashar al-Assad's inner circle in a bomb attack in Damascus. Let's take you back to Patrick Seale, a journalist and an expert on Syria. Patrick, you were saying earlier about talking about the body blow this inflicts on the Syrian regime.
Well, of course it is. I mean, they've massacred, wiped out the whole of that top brass. It's many more than the 3 you mentioned, more like 6, possibly 12. If you counted the deputies, it's quite a big gathering. A lot of people have been killed, many more wounded. Now, what is the various scenarios. One possibility is that the regime will crumble. I don't personally believe that. Another possible option is that the regime will respond even more ferociously than in the past and will try and seek these people out and crush them. I mean, I think it's not surprising. I mean, it should be no surprise that a government, whatever its political coloring, will seek to crush armed groups on its territory. I mean, the Chinese did it, the Russians did it, the Americans, when they were attacked, invaded 2 countries and killed tens of thousands of people. And of course, we're seeing the same sort of thing happening with Israeli tourists. Israel has been oppressing the Palestinians, seizing their land. Should not be surprised that people hit back. The United States and Afghanistan, again, should not be surprised that the Taliban hit back.
Now, at the same time, Patrick Seale, could it send a message to those supporters of the Assad regime, members of the military and the like in Syria, that if a suicide bomber could infiltrate the very heart of the Syrian security apparatus and take out these 3 members of Assad's inner circle, then really nobody's safe? And could this result in more people defecting from the regime?
Well, it could, of course. It could have the opposite effect, however. It could make people feel that this is not what they want. The general public are very frightened, I think, in Syria. They yearn for security. And it's important to note, I think, that this terrorist suicide attack has all the hallmark of these jihadis, these extremist Islamic fighters that have been flowing into Syria from neighboring countries, and the sort of people the United States confronted in Iraq. Now, as we know, it's very difficult to protect yourself against somebody who's prepared to blow himself up in order to hit you. I mean, so I feel these are Islamist terrorists who've come in from different countries and are determined to bring down the regime.
So in that sense, do you agree, Patrick Seale, with the US Defence Secretary Leon Panetta, who a short time ago said, well, the situation in Syria is now well and truly spinning right out of control?
Well, it's certainly a very dangerous moment. Now, of course, it puts the Western powers in a very tricky situation. They've been arming the rebels, and so has Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Well, do they particularly want to arm these jihadists? Does the United States want to find itself on the same side as al-Qaeda, for example? This is the sort of dilemma that Western powers face. You see, Kofi Annan, the UN-mandated mediator, has been saying that the international powers should combine in putting pressure on both sides to cease fire and come to the table of negotiation. You can't support the Kofi Annan peace plan and arm the rebels at the same time.
Patrick Seale in Tourette's, thank you very much for your analysis this morning.
Thank you.